Crawford Spence fight is off. They fumbled the bag. Crawford Spence fight is off. They fumbled the bag. They fumbled the bag.
I don't see nothing special in Crawford. I don't know why everyone's scared of him. Come Saturday, he gonna find out how hard I bite. I ain't even gotta do too much talking, because I know what's gonna happen come Saturday.
Check it.
What's good, everybody? What's good? It's your boy, Cardinal Bud Crawford, or E.S. Red, if that's what you won't call me. And we are back for another one. Alright, y'all, we got them new topics. Is the fight off? Terence Crawford versus the Man of Steel, Errol Spence Jr. Shelved. Alright, y'all, let's talk about it, man. There's some new rumors / news floating around surrounding the Errol Spence Terence Crawford undisputed super fight and whether it will happen in 2022 or not. Alright, y'all, let's get into this. So, I've been saying for a long time that this fight might not happen in 2022. I've been optimistic. I've tried my best to stay humble and grounded in my beliefs that they'll get it done. But I'm losing hope, man. We are well into this year, almost at the end. November's creeping up on us really quickly, and I don't think they're going to have enough time to make this fight happen this year. I'm like 1% still optimistic, and I'm gonna hold on to that 1%, but I don't think it's gonna happen. And there's news that has come out, some rumor / news that has come out about PBC and why the fight might not happen.
I heard that Errol Spence's next fight won't be announced in November 5th. These are right around the time rumors of the Keith Thurman, obviously Terence Crawford fight, and that it will be announced November 5th for in Dallas. Now, a lot of people get mad at Errol Spence for not signing the contract. The rumor is that they don't have a network, so Al told him, not to sign the contract.
All right, y'all. So it's interesting that is the reason that it has nothing to do with the contract. It has nothing to do with either side really not signing, but it has something to do with networks and network dollars. And it's funny that this is the news that's breaking, because this has been tossed around as the problem for a long time. I think people just weren't paying attention to it. The whole time, the problem has been the money hasn't been there. Both fighters are not receiving what they want to receive. Now, we've heard that they've cleaned up the contract a couple of times. We've heard that Terence Crawford has agreed a couple of times. We don't know what terms he agreed to or what dollar amount that he agreed to, but it's sounding to me that they came up with a dollar amount. Terence Crawford might have agreed to it, but Errol Spence might have realized, well, if you're going to give him more money, you better give me more money too. So perhaps Errol Spence is looking for a higher dollar amount, and it's put Fox and their television network in a little bit of a pickle, because about a month ago we heard that there was a bidding war going on between those two companies for rights to the fight. Now you're hearing that Fox doesn't want to put up the money. Showtime might want to put up the money, but it's a situation of them and Al Heyman and future fights. It's just a big mess. So to me, I think the fight is possible if whoever's backing the fight really wants to put up the dollar amounts. Now, I'm not saying that Errol Spence is holding out for a dollar amount or that he's the reason that the fight is not being put on. I'm saying that obviously money is an issue here, and I'm not surprised about that, because the whole time that I've been saying it probably won't happen in 2022, that has been my reason for saying that, because there were so many other big fights, so many other high dollar fights put on this year that I didn't see how these networks, and there's no way these networks are making all their money back off all these fights and all of these pay-per-view events. So I was skeptical of whether the networks would actually want to keep putting up money for a losing product. Unfortunately, I'm not saying that Errol Spence is a losing product. He definitely he does pay-per-view numbers, he definitely does gate numbers, but boxing as a whole is now a losing product. Fans have had enough, pretty much. Fans are getting screwed over every time you turn around and look up when it comes to these pay-per-views. You might get one, maybe two great boxing matches a year that are worth going back and rewatching and being willing to pay for those fights. Whereas in MMA, you're getting one or two of those a month, it seems like. And I think fans at this point have had enough. They're not willing to invest their dollars into a pay-per-view event that might be upwards of $100, and then you mess around and get a stalemate fight like Maypac. I think they should be taking all the time that they can to make sure that this event is 100% legit and that we're going to get the greatest fight that boxing can put on, so that whatever precedes that fight, every fight that comes after that fight will get the same amount of attention when it comes to super fights. We just had a fight between Canelo and Triple G that I think nobody even knew about or even really cared about. I don't know what their pay-per-view numbers were. I did want to watch that fight just to assess where Triple G was at. But because of boxing not being what it was and, the word of mouth not spreading as far as it used to when it comes to boxing, I didn't even know the fight even happened until I saw the replays on YouTube. So it's almost to the point where it's kind of laughable. The sport of boxing is becoming a laughable sport. I think this is why you saw Mayweather get out of it when he got out of it, because I think he saw the inevitable coming. There was no way networks are going to keep paying him $50 million plus for unentertaining fights. There's no way they made their money back off that Berto fight. And there was some other fights that were in there that I don't think they made their money back off of, and I think boxing's been losing ever since then. Could be the same reason that Manny Pacquiao decided to get out of it. He didn't get all his money for the Maypac fight. There were rumors that he only got about half of what he was promised for that fight, as well as, his bad deals with Bob Arum. There's a mess going on in the sport of boxing. Now, let me go back to what I was saying about Errol Spence and holding out for money. If they had promised him, let's just say $25 million, and they told him that Terence would be getting 10, I think it was supposed to be somewhere along that lines. It was somewhere between 15 to 25 for Errol on the first time that I heard that it was agreed to, and Terence Crawford would have been getting 10. Now, let's say they decided to bump Terence Crawford's portion of the money up to make the fight. They decided to give him $15 million. Okay, now what is stopping Errol Spence Jr. from saying, hold on, well, I'm the draw. I'm the one who's been doing all the heavy lifting. I'm the one who's really made this fight what it is. I want another $5 million. And I'm not signing off on the fight until you give me another $5 million. What that does is that alienates those two networks, Fox and Showtime, and it puts them in a position to where they either have to say, well, we can't afford to do the fight, which I know that if it's Fox and Showtime competing, Showtime obviously has the bigger budget because people pay a premium price to purchase that channel, unless you have premium cable, but you still have to pay extra to get that channel. So, and they have, they have it to where you can purchase their channel through an app. So they're obviously making more money, have the bigger budget. But let's say Showtime doesn't want to commit those extra dollars because they don't feel like they're going to make their money back or recruit their money off of the fight because of the streaming services. At the end of the day, it becomes a hassle for the fans. At the end of the day, it becomes a hassle for the network. At the end of the day, it becomes a hassle for both fighters, because I'm in agreement with Errol Spence Jr. on this. I don't care if he is holding out. If they decided to give $5 million extra to Terence Crawford and they didn't throw anything extra Errol Spence's way, I wouldn't sign off on it either. And I think he would be foolish, and it would really put him in a bad situation for him to sign off on a fight that he's getting underpaid on. And that he would have to do a rematch on and possibly a trilogy on at a lower price tag. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that down in the comment section below. Is the super fight off? Will Terence Crawford fight the Man of Steel, Errol Spence Jr., or are fans getting shelved on this fight until 2023? It's your boy Cardinal Bud Crawford, or E.S. Red, if that's what you want to call me, and we are mad at him.
Probably gonna dance to this. Yeah.